Welcome to some Magic the Gathering Alchemy. So, we were given the opportunity by Wizards to test out a bunch of new cards as they just nerfed cards like Cobbled Lancer. I had a deck idea that already used 2 Cobbled Lancers in it. In fact, now that they've made this change, I might add a third. So anyways, let's explain this deck and its various win conditions and how it works. So, this is kind of a general good stuff early game deck. You start out with some cheap creatures to just clog down the board, slow them down. A lot of these are 1/1s, they get bigger later on. Really, so we'll go through it one at a time. One of the first win conditions, the control win condition, Oglor. Whenever a creature card is put to your graveyard from your library or hand, it perpetually gains when it leaves your graveyard, create a tapped 2/2 black zombie creature token. So, Oglor plus Colossal Skyturtle is actually a combo, because Colossal Skyturtle, you can discard it and return target card from your graveyard to your hand, such as another Colossal Skyturtle. So what can happen is if you're in a deep late game, you can instant speed, pay 3 mana to bounce the Skyturtle, get a zombie token, then pay 3 more mana, bounce the Skyturtles again, get another zombie token, and as this continues, it can actually stack to the point where that ability, that perpetual ability, actually could stack multiple times to where it becomes 2 zombie tokens, 3 zombie tokens, 4 zombie tokens. You get to a point where you can actually just make entire armies out of a constant repetitive loop from your deck. So that's the control win condition. If we're playing a slow grindy game, we have this 3 mana instant speed effect that builds us a board that is not a spell, so it can't be countered. And if they target our graveyard, we can bounce this back. So the only way to really get rid of it is something like Go Blank, which will discard cards and exile the graveyard. In which case, bad news for us. But hey, in the process of them exiling everything, we'll still get to a last wave of black zombies. But anyways, we are leveraging the fact that that means we have 3 mana open at instant speed to play a full set of Divide by Zeros, Quandric commands, and Sock Cummies. Quandric's command, it's not as clear of a counterspell, given that it only counters artifacts and enchantments, but if it counters one of those, you can also bounce a card, making it very powerful. Also, not to mention, if Colossal Skyturtle is in our hand before Oglor, we can just use it as a bounce spell. The versatility of these things is a very important part there. Yeah, thank you very much, Manuel Romero. I do appreciate all the support. So, other than that, if we need a more mid-range strategy, Ishkana the Broodmother can constantly exile cards from the graveyard to create more spiders and spider-like effects to power out through enemy threats, and basically just create more potential with a 4-mana 3/5 on board. Also, because it's exiling cards from my graveyard to get that effect, it triggers Oglor's abilities. Shigeki is also nice in just bringing back good cards. It does not bring back Ishkana because it's legendary, but generally speaking, this is kind of more of the mid-range pile here. Teachings of the Chiron, Deathbond Sprout, Willow Geist, all great mid-range cards. So then all that's left is how do we deal with early game, which I will state that early game is the hardest part of this, but we have 9 1-drops and 7 2-drops. I think we will manage some way to deal with those early game stuff. This, of course, means that probably the weakest card in this deck right now is Tomio Completed Sage. I just had to try this. I had the opportunity to try Tomio. I'm going to try Tomio. It's entirely possible that the correct theme is to knock down 2 Tomios, get a full set of Willow Geists, and maybe a full set of Oglors because of how this deck functions without it. But we're going to play it as is for now. Note about the mana base. If you're in Alchemy and you don't have 4 Forsaken Crossroads, you're doing it wrong. I decided 2 Boseiju, 2 Atawara, because these cards are good, but you don't want more than 1, and after you draw the second one, you start having issues. I have a Hall of the Storm Giants. This deck has enough value in the late game. It does not need too many man lands. This is just 1 man land in case they manage to Go Blank and wipe the board and all those other things. Just a single man land is all I wanted. The cost of getting it into play tapped on turn 3 is very heavy for me, so I don't want that. And we're just going to play some games. And we'll state I played 3 games with this before we started here to make sure the deck functioned well, and I won all 3. So we're going to hope that remains the case. Alright, so unfortunately we have a very slow starting hand. Or do we? This is a bounce spell on turn 2, a bounce spell on turn 3, a turn 4 play, a turn 5 play. And this is also a turn 4 play if we need it. We are going first. I do not like discarding cards. We are going to start with playing Otawara because I'd rather guarantee the blue mana out now. And I'm not going to be using that as a spell given our curve as it is. Oh my gosh. Oglor. Come on down. And if Oglor doesn't die, we're in a great shape. They might just kill Oglor immediately. I would not be surprised. But if they don't, we're in great... Like, Oglor, the problem is it's legendary, so you don't want too many. But you want one in this deck. You want to get your first one. This might have to be a 4 of, but... As is, I'm just leaving it as is. Alright. So, I'm going to discard this Colossal Skyturtle. It immediately has the zombie creation effect. So now I'm going to play the Dreamlight Cascade. We just end our turn. And we now have instant speed, create a 2/2 tapped zombie. And we have the loop already started. We're probably going to have to divide by 0 to respond to whatever they do. But if they don't do anything impressive, if they're just attack with the Jukai Naturalist, I'm going to Skyturtle. Why not? Kami of Transience, I don't think is worth dividing. Its Spirited Companion is not worth dividing either, I don't think. I will take 2 damage from the Jukai Naturalist. I could divide by 0 to bounce that back later. I can actually bounce the Jukai Naturalist now. No, I want to bounce the Kami if I bounce either. Do I want to divide? I think I actually just want to make my token now. So there's an extra value here, is if they manage to kill Oglor, there is now that zombie token perpetually on them. So I no longer have to worry about losing that later. Alright. Dreamroot's just a better land here. Alright. I think here I play Ishkana. Next turn I hold up the channel and the Skyturtle. There's one thing of if they get Michiko's Reign of Truth on Kami of Transience, that's going to be very threatening. But other than that, we are ready for liftoff, basically. I think that this is a good turn for Ishkana. The divide by 0 will have to help us next turn. We have a 2/2, so they can't attack with Jukai Naturalist. If they get the Michikos, they can only attack with Kami of Transience, and I can bounce it the next turn. Alright, now they can attack with Fates Beyond Kami of Transience. I do create a threat that they have to get rid of that's not Oglor, and that feels pretty good. This deck really... Alright, so they're gonna confine Oglor here. That is unfortunate for us, but we have at least one trigger on both Skyturtles. So they actually targeted Ishkana with Generous Visitor instead of one of their creatures. And Circle of Time can't hit Ishkana, so they're kind of in a bad spot there. Taking out my Oglor is bad for me, though. Cannot deny that. Alright. I think I Forsaken Crossroads because I want to get to 6 mana in a big way. And I'll probably just play Tomio, tap down their Kami of Transience. I think we go more blue because we have double blue cards, but not many double green cards. This will be better eventually. Because here's the thing. It just keeps getting bigger as I loop my Skyturtles. So that is a very powerful play. But I don't think we're there yet. Alright. So we are going to choose 2 life. Alright, and this thing, losing the fact that the Trampler gets to be tapped down means even if they have buff spells, they can't really do much with it. Tomio can work as exiling cards for more value, but we're not going to worry about that now. Circle of Confinement taking Oglor is pretty bad, but as I said, we have... Cards we need it. Oh, it's not... I was going to say, how did it not trigger Kami of Transience or anything? I realized it's not... Alright, so I think we then tap down the Catilda, and we're just going to constantly perma-tap the Catilda. That's basically the plan. Quandrix Command is going to be great, especially since this is a deck with enchantments. And we now have 6 mana left open for all the responses we need. And that's exactly where we want to be. They have 2 cards left in hand. We have all the responses we need. We are in pristine condition right now. So now they're going to play an enchantment. We're going to counter the enchantment spell, bounce the Alchemy of Transience. And it's even the enchantment I want to kill because it's a big threat. Alright, here we are. So counter target enchantment spell, and return target creature to its owner's hand. And that's going to remove all the +1/+1 counters. Alright. There we are. Always good. Always good. Yeah, I don't really care to use Tamio's Notebook. Just using it to stop the Catilda permanently is going to be good enough. And, yeah. They have no plays here. So I can now begin looping the Skyturtles. And remember, even though they took my Oglor, it's perpetual. So now I have 3 mana 2/2 zombies at will. It doesn't scale, it's not scaling, but I have 3 mana 2/2 zombies at will. Alright. Otawara is just going to be a bounce spell now. Unfortunate. So I have bounce spell. I have a legendary, so bounce, bounce. So, yeah, I have a lot of bounce spells. I'm going to just keep tapping down to Catilda. That's a little unfortunate for the database. We can also exile the 2 non-creatures with Ishkana, get ourselves some effects there. Alright. I think I'm just going to keep looping these for more 2/2s. I think just counter-flooding the board is good enough for what I'm doing. If they I cannot think of a board clear they could have that is one-sided, not in green-white. Whatever they have that they want to play, I'm assuming it's either like Iganjo, like if I attack, they have a combat trick, or it's just not even worth addressing. One or the other. Alright. This stalemate is very positive for us. These 5/0s will only gain value as we go on. And being at 6 mana is good for us, and in a way it does not seem good for them. There's no point in me attacking, because they will block with Alchemy of Transience, then they will block with another creature, getting back the Alchemy of Transience. It's better I hold down the fort first, and then come back to take care of the Alchemy later. I'm going to just let them buff a creature, and then I will divide by 0 the buffed creature, which is likely the Alchemy of Transience. They plan to make it to a big creature. Wedding Announcement is a threatening card, but I can't... If I bounce back to the hand, they'll just play it again. So, they do got me there. These divide by 0s are not Sought Comings. We are going to keep tapping down cards before we... Alright. And we just keep the loop. Because, yeah, this loop is, while it's not the strongest loop, it is a constant loop. Like, keep in mind, if Oglor was around, this would already be doing, like, 3 zombies per loop now. We would be way out in front. But... Alright. Continue tapping Catilda. Next time we might -7 to create the Notebook, just so it can draw us more cards. Return to artifact, creature, enchantment, or planeswalker to its owner's hand. And Ishkana makes this cost 1. And that's exactly something I saw coming. Glad I got my Sought coming. I think we need to start making it. I think I need to make Sought coming 4 of. I mean, the other one is also good, but yeah, just counter spells are quite significant compared to divide by 0s. And we have enough 2-drops that they can't even attack with a copy of Transience. Yep, That's the plan, Lambo Droid. That is the plan. And we would have so many more if they didn't kill our Oglor. They just want to draw a card, so they're just sacrificing their creatures for the card draw. I am going to bounce the Catilda. Alright, I just thought of something. Why did I not do this sooner? So I'm going to bounce their Catilda. I'm going to Containment Breach. And we're going to basically wreck the next turn. So now we -7 to Mio. How's it going, Just Paranoid Thieves? Glad to have you here. Glad to have you here. So now our spells cost 2 less. We can Containment Breach, destroying the Circle of Confinement. Sorry about that. I don't need that info. So now we have Oglor active again. We have a 1-mana bounce. And that's an activated ability, so I can't do anything about it. I could Memory Deluge now to try to get some mana now. Return. Yeah, this is a token. I can't really deal with that. You know what? I'm just going to bounce the Kami of Transience now. And we're going to grab... I don't need any of those. I might just grab the basic conjuration. Maybe the environmental sciences. I'll grab the mascot in case I need it. Alright. We're going to have 3 mana left. I think I just memoried it. Yeah, I also... Yeah, we're just going ham, basically. Because we have this mana reduction, we're going to use it. Oh, because I only paid 2 mana for it, so I only get to look at 2 cards. That's funny. Alright. We're going to search my library for a basic land. Awesome. We get Oglor back. Now, Death Bonnet. There's 2 legendary creatures. Okay. Alright. Man, I still know a lot of these cards. Good to hear. So yeah, our combo is with this card, Oglor. Makes it whenever I return cards from my graveyard, or whenever I discard cards, they add 2/2 black zombies, all of these guys. And then these Colossal Skyturtles have the ability to discard to draw a card, to get a card from our grave. So we're just looping Skyturtles to get endless zombies, is basically the plan. Alright. So now we're getting a 2/2 black zombie. Oh, no. I did it in the wrong order. Doesn't matter, though. You want to do Death Bonnet Sprout first. Alright. Tamio Plesses to tap down their flyer.
You cannot delay our victory.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can't play Otawara because it's a legendary lad. We're just going to hold up Memory Deluge if we want it, and otherwise just loop Skyturtles in case they kill Oglor. Oof. But yeah, this is definitely a control feed base. Basically, they want to be a ground deck, and we're going to win this ground game. That's basically how this deck works. We have 7 2/2s, a 4/6. Alright, and now this loop starts scaling. So, now you're going to notice it has the ability ×2. So we're going to make 2 zombies on that one. And then we're going to do that again. And now when we do it next time, there's going to be 3 zombies. So next turn there's going to be 3 zombies when we do this loop. Alright, hold up. We want to mill a card, and then we want to choose what card we keep. Do I want another Tamio? Or do I want another Skyturtle? I'm gonna have a safety Skyturtle.
Such an imperfect.
3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 cards in hand. We're still, like, really good on cards. Alright. So fortunately, this is their only card they're playing this turn. So even if I don't have a proper counterspell for it, we're fine. They're trying to make big creatures, but we have just such a colossal board, it does not matter. 1, 2... Alright. We're just going to worry about this right now. Continue our loop. Yep, so now it's 3. So now, keep in mind, we're now spending 6 mana. And they're going to be 4 next turn. So we're now spending, for each mana point we spend, we are gaining a little more than 1 zombie. And I'm just going to exile 2 cards that don't matter. These lands look good. And we're going to draft ourselves... we're going to Spidery Grasp as another combat trick. We want Death Bonnet first. There's another creature. I think we want Shigeki because Shigeki has some broken stuff it can do. So we don't need more Divide by Zeros. Alright.
You cannot delay our victory.
We're not going to channel that yet. Alright. And then again, we hold up 6 mana. Alright, so 10, 17. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, so I'm just counting how many blockers they have. I'm wondering, I think we have lethal. Yeah, I think we have lethal now. So we're going to make a bunch of zombies again. Alright, so we're about to hit greater than 20 zombies. Yeah, we're getting 20 zombies. Each zombie deals 3 damage. This should be lethal in 3 different ways, you know. Oh, I think I grabbed the wrong Skyturtle. Yeah, I grabbed the wrong Skyturtle. That only created 1 zombie. Alright. So we're actually going to do it this way to make sure that we get this thing flipped for as much damage as possible. Alright. So now we're going to tap up to 1 target artifact or creature. We're going to discard this to bounce their lifelink. Discards this, or divide by 0 to bounce this lifelink. And we're going to just kill them. Yep. With 22 zombies. So that's our control win condition, as I was saying. Oof. Yep. Works in control. And the fact that I get gunk up the board and wait for that to actually occur, I don't know. I appreciate that. I understand why other people would hate it. I understand this is a very slow deck, but it's a fun slow deck. It's a deck where you fight for the board for a while, and then you have just like, alright, here's my board presence, counter my board presence, not all in hand. It is a lot in hand, and that's why it's good, but it's not all in hand. Alright. I'm okay with this. Play the basic land first. Oof. Hope everything works out well. Nice little anime card style. We have a second Oglor to back up the first. Always good to have 1 Oglor, as I was saying. We'll have a divide by 0 on next turn. Get myself an environmental sciences. Oglor could help set up my draws, so if they don't kill it, I could more likely guarantee lands. I think I want the land. Yeah, I want the land. And that just gives us a trigger. And we just hold up the divide by 0. I should have attacked. Can I? They delayed enough that I gotta attack. Alright. So we're facing the Hinata deck. If they... So on turn... When they have the 4 mana... I think I divide by 0 this just because I need to slow them down. Alright. And they're going to use their artifact to Fading Hope that. I am perfectly happy with the way this turned out. Alright. I'm going to ready the Containment Breach to scare them off of doing that again. I think I'm going to Ishkana over Oglor. I'm already in a bad spot for lands. If I Oglor, I do nothing else with my 2 mana. So we're just going to Ishkana. This also discourages them from playing Hinata. Hinata is the main card. If they play Hinata the Dawn Crown, I'm in trouble. Alright, so we get a Containment Breach this. I do want to draw a land to allow it for it. Oof. I might let the Celestis go just on the fact that they already got a lot of their value. Wait, but they... Yeah, they don't have the mana. Alright. This on blue. Quandrix Command will be great. I do need to do so. I'm going to just Containment Breach the Celestis, I think. I don't want Churn Tonight and let them get more value. Or I could just Oglor and do the Exiling with Ishkana. That is more mana efficient. I'm just starting to get... Yeah, next turn, if I don't destroy the Celestis, they will have the... If I don't destroy the Celestis, they will be able to Hinata into Magma Opus. This is the thing I'm trying to avoid. And they have no mana for it, so that's exactly what I was hoping for. Alright. So I could divide by 0, or I could use this, return it to their hand, and... Oh, well, I can't actually use this because of Hinata. So I'm going to use divide by 0. It's going to cost 4 mana. I don't have a choice there, but plays around Jawari Disruption. And I'm going to... Teachings of the Archaics, or... I'm going to Mascot Exhibition, have that ready. But yeah. Hinata here is one of the scariest cards right now. There's just a deck built around this guy that's really devastating. Perfect. I do want the 2+1/+1 counters. And this will target a player. Alright. 3 target cards. Can I just choose 1? I can't just choose 1. I don't think I can. And yeah, the return version effect is just devastating to me. That's unfortunate. There is a combat trick in here. Is it worth sacrificing? No. Maybe. I think I'm just going to hold up and Memory Deluge. But yeah, Quandrix Command having so many targets, having that I have to choose at least 2. Can't do it. Oh my gosh. The Hinata, so every time I cast a spell that has more targets, I have to have the targets. And I didn't have the targets for Hinata, so I just lost the game because I didn't realize I had to choose 2. I need to choose exactly 1 to kill Hinata there. And now I think I lose the game. Unfortunate. This is the threatening deck. Hinata is the card that is stronger than expected. Unexpected windfall. As long as they don't get Magma Opus, I'm alright. Sakami needs to be pulled out. Second Ishkana needs to be pulled out. Sakami is going to cost 4, so I have to account for that. I can Ishkana and Oglor. They haven't played Magma Opus, which tells me they don't have Magma Opus. Or at least that's what I'm theorizing from it. And the speed at which that resolve tells me they don't have Magma Opus. Alright. Ishkana doesn't block this turn. Next turn, we have Sok coming and Quandrix Command. So we actually have solutions. We actually can play this game. We made a mistake. Hinata is alive and prosperous, and they have mana untapped for it. That was my fault. By the way, if I grabbed that Prey Upon, we'd actually be in a much worse position. So I'm glad I did what I did. So gotta remember, this costs 5, this costs 4. And like, we're talking minimum. There's Magma Opus. Alright, so they just drew Magma Opus. I'm okay with that. So I can now bounce into the hand, give this +1/+1 counters, and possibly kill them on the back screen. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will have 2 mana open. I do have to make sure they don't have... I do have to pray they don't have a counter spell, because that's really where I'm at right now. Yep, we are just in a bad spot. And they just channel to bounce Ishkana, so I can't even do it now. I mean, I kind of have to just develop Ishkana anyways. I don't have a choice here. I think we lost the game the turn that I couldn't play Quandrix Command when I thought I could. Because I thought I could just use it to get 2 +1/+1 counters, but because it needs 2 targets, I had no successful targets. I might have been able to target myself and just shuffle 0 cards. I think that had to be the play. I think that had to be the play to kill the Hinata. As is, if they have another Magma Opus, which it's possible they could, we just lose on the spot as they target one of the targets being my face, and my 2 creatures get tapped, and we just lose on the spot. So... if they play Magma Opus, we just concede to save time, but if they don't, we have a way out. Is there a way out still? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Mascot Exhibition, they have absolutely nothing. That's technically a way out. Yeah, just... Hinata is a very powerful card in this format, and my deck doesn't have a good way to deal with Hinata as is. If this was best of 3, I could board in Disdainful Strokes, because, like, this is a deck that is prevalent enough, and Disdainful Stroke is good enough as is. Boarding in 3 Disdainful Strokes makes sense. Trading here. I will double trade to make sure there's no combat trick. Wait, that thing has trample? Hinata has trample? Why does Hinata need trample? Why does that card have trample? Okay. I guess that card has trample. Alright. So, this deck is bad against Hinata. Good to know. Good to know. I mean, a lot of decks are bad against Hinata, so I'm not too worried. Alright, Deathbond Sprout into Teachings of the Chiron, which this is good, because this card auto-mills us, which means Deathbond Sprout will flip much sooner. I think we play Otawara to get Teachings of the Chiron out, because Forsaken Crossroads could be a scry land if we find that we're not drawing enough lands to generate the rest of this, develop the rest of this board. Weaver Harmony was one I wanted to try out, because it's any activate or trigger ability from Enchantment Source. channeling this is considered an enchantment source. So I really wanted to try that, but... not a single creature. 2 counterspells and 2 lands. Sorry, Death Bonnet. Are they trying to... okay. Alright, Cobbled Lancers, nice. Put +1/+1 counter. I'm going to put it on the Spirit so that it could be used as fodder more successfully. We're going to play this. We're going to put it on blue to in case we draw Sock Coming or something of that nature. Don't need Hall of Storm Giants. We're going to play Oglor because we want to get that development now. I would rather mill with Death Bonnet and then choose my draw with Oglor. I'd rather choose my draw over get this flipped. So they are just playing good value green-white enchantments, which this is why I have 3 Quandrix commands and was thinking of having 4. Alright. And it's good, that's why I don't have auto-triggering on, because I want to make sure that's in the right order. Alright. 1 Colossal Skyturtle in the bin. That's half the combo. And yes, we like the Skyturtle in the bin for the combo. Alright. So they're going to get bigger. So I'm thinking I play this untapped and just get Ishkana out because we need the tempo now. We need to make sure the Weaver of Harmony can't do much. Alright. And we're looking to just draw Quandrix command ASAP, which is why I'm still milling first, even though gain of 3/3 is valuable. Sorry, but there's... oh! They're on the second phase and they doubled it up. Alright, so they get... yeah, no, this phase is really good. So they get a Spirit Companion into another discard into Michiko's Reign of Truth. Wow. Yep, just get themselves a Ram 6/6. Alright. We are suiciding the Spirit Token, if in case anyone's wondering. I'm happy to trade the Spirit Token to slow them down. At least a little. Ugh. Alright, well, we killed the other 1/1 if they decide to draw a card here. 6, so I can't. Yep. They are flipping the wedding announcement, which is unfortunate. For some reason, I thought they were doubling up on the flip being wedding announcement. Alright. Oh, that's exactly what I wanted to... alright. I think we want the land so we can perma-tap down Weaver of Harmony. We are in a bad spot, everyone. And us not getting the cards we needed and then getting the cards they do does not help. I think we have to throw back this Sock Coming and just hope that... like, we have to deal with the board pressure as is. We can't go for we can't go too deep into value right now. Ishkana does help. Being able to Colossal Skyturtle to tap something down is pretty good. We're going to leave it here for now. I don't like it. I might just play Shigeki. Getting ready to get a land. And, like, block and get a land. Yeah. Alright. I'm going to Shigeki. So this can block this turn, and on a future turn, it can, on a future turn, Shigeki can block, then tap itself to flip over so I don't lose the value. But yeah, they're making Michiko very threatening. We are in a very bad spot. This is another one of the good decks. This is why I have 3 Quandrix commands. But I didn't have any of the resources that I generally use to deal with this. We are going to just block with a Kirin Touch Orochi. And now they take my Ishkana. Oh my god, and I can't... it's target creature. So yeah, I think we just lost. I think that play just lost us the game. If we hadn't lost already, we lost the game here. Hey, how's it going, Alex Barkley? We just got slaughtered by this deck. We got bad draws, they got good draws, but mostly our deck honestly doesn't have a way to deal with these aggressive starts, and they got an extra aggressive start on top of that. We're going to try to get this loop started. Even, I don't think this loop is fast enough to save us. This is very much a control win condition loop. We really needed this Death Spawn Sprout to flip. It had, like, all our first mills were all non-creatures, and that actually exacerbated quickly, losing the, losing a lot of our other tools as well. Just, we had issues going in. We had issues. We need to draw the card now. Alright. We have a divide by 0 if we need it. We continue the Skyturtle. Tamio doesn't really... I could have tapped down the Architect of Restoration, but I think we're still dead. Yeah. Wait. I could bounce the Borrowed Time with divide by 0. Possibly get some good blocks. Possibly. Keep ourselves alive. Oh my god. Yeah, they have a lot of pressure. Yeah, we were slow, they were fast. Like, my hand, I knew my hand was slow this game. They have a lot of pressure. They have a really good Weaver of Harmony combo. And, like, we have cards that counter enchantments specifically, and I drew 0. I milled 1 and drew 0. Alright. Let's Containment Breach so that we can destroy this. Alright. And this thing never flipped the entire game. This thing came out turn 1 and never flipped. I do recognize we don't have as many creatures as you'd want for such an effect, but for 0 flips. This could technically not block. We go down to 1. We're dead next turn if we go down to 1. Just straight out. And now they get a second buff. Yeah, so one of the big problems is because we're blue-green, we have no way to clear boards. We just have a bad matchup against these sort of decks. And yeah, there's not really much we can do about that. And I think we just, yeah, they have, if 2 of these 4 come in, they just swing with all and we lose. So yeah, no reason to let that game lag out. I still like my deck, but yeah, we just definitely... So there are 2 weak points, which is swarming the board, and it seemed like we had a weak point against Hinata specifically. I'm gonna edit this deck a little bit to try to deal with that, because those are 2 big decks, and we have obvious weaknesses to them. So, we dealt with one by getting Oglor out early, and we dealt with the other by Quandrix commanding. One we just can't deal with, I don't think. Ishkana's basically our way, so I think we get these counter spells more jacked up, because we are the control. We are defiant. We are definitely the control. Deathbont Sprout is not as good as I thought. I'd rather have another Willowgeist and a Cobbled Lancer. So that's some changes. We're going to try it like that. More counter spells, so we can actually deal and resolve the board. More of these creatures. So we're going to have a better array of Cobbled Lancers with Death Bonnets, because Death Bonnets aren't flipping anyways. We have 20 creatures, so it's not too hard to assume that it will be flipping, but it didn't that time. Tamio's just out of the deck. While Tamio was useful, it wasn't too useful. The effects are just not strong enough to really support us, and it's too expensive when we want to be keeping our mana open. Alright, we go first. Play this tapped on green. This into Teachings of the Chiron, or Shigeki, depending on what we need. And then we have Dream Gauge to do these 2 or Divide by 0. It's a bit slow. Cannot deny that, because we are starting with a tap land. But alright, we do not need more lands right now. But yeah, we just gotta try to stop them before the pressure builds up too heavily. Teachings of the Chiron might not be good enough. What? They chose blue. Okay. Blue, they're not Alright. Whew. So I could... I'm going to teach you the Chiron first, try to get these effects all taken care of. Get the 1-1. Get the Willowgeist ready. Shigeki will be good later on. But Teaches of the Chiron is worse the more turns go on and it's not in play. So, we're going to focus on that. Alright, blue-white. So here's a question. Being that's blue-white, do we... So I'm going to attack first. So I think I Willowgeist and foretell the Sot coming for Shigeki, Otawara, Shigeki, and hold up Sot coming the next turn. If it's a threat for 3 mana, we have a Divide by 0. If it's specifically Elite Spellbinder, they'll eat my Divide by 0, but then we have a... I'm not too worried about Elite Spellbinder because it only has 1 health. And while they'll grab my Divide by 0, we'll have the Sot coming pretty close behind. Alright. I'm going to start by attacking. See how they respond. Okay, hold on. Blue, white, green. I have no idea what they're doing right now. I'm going to stick to the plan. Shigeki into Sot coming. But then that makes the next turn not even good. I'm going to just haul the Storm Giants and hold up Sot coming or Divide by 0. We have enough pressure on board already. We just need to make sure they don't mess it up somehow. Key to the Archive. Yeah, they have access to board wipes, definitely. Alright, I'm just going to play this to slow down the Key to the Archive, force them to try to play it again next turn. And that feels pretty nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can play this and draw 3 cards of Teach to the Archaics and still hold up the counter spell for next turn. And then, yeah. Alright, so yeah, we have enough pressure against other control decks. We are a control deck that beats other control decks other than Hinata. I like that sort of positioning. I like that positioning. We are controlling mid-range, is basically how I think it would be called. Definitely we have a problem with swarm boards, which the enchantment deck is pretty good at, but we have a spell that explicitly counters enchantments and bounces a card in the same go. So that should help. Alright. So, I'm going to start with Dreamroot Cascade, and we have discard the Colossal Skyturtle to bounce a card into Cobbled Lancer if we want. No, this doesn't have anything. Never mind. Yeah, Cobbled Lancer can't be played early on, so that hand had nothing. Alright. Play that as blue into T2's of the Chiron. You know what? I don't know how tempo-y to non-tempo-y they're going to be. T2's of the Chiron has to be enough tempo. Not right now. That will be later on. Yep. So yeah, white has a ton of great board wipes in this format. So, gosh darn it, it's blue, and this I need to play next. This is why I only have 1 man land, because I need to play green here. But because I need to play that, but I can't play Hall of the Storm Giants next turn. So if I want to hold up Divide by 0, I cannot play Hall of the Storm Giants next turn. Then I have to play the turn after, which means I won't be able to play the Memory Deluge. Alright. I'm fine with this, actually. Yeah. I'll just haul the Storm Giants and do the Cobbled Lancer. I don't need the Divide by 0 this turn. I could just exile the Cobbled Lancer. There's not too much they can actually do to me. Aspirate can rotate. Oh yeah, this card, so they nerfed it so it's at the end of the turn. I'm not sure how much that matters. But yeah, it seems like they are a life gain deck, which means the card we need to counter is the cards that give you rewards for gaining a bunch of life. Not the life gain. The life gain, there's too much of it, but there's only so many cards that reward you for gaining life. Alright, we have another balance spell. Alright. Full... Alright, so Alchemy specifically is, errating the cards. You see that little... This little, symbol here? That means it's... That means it's errated. Alright, so we could bounce back theme, counter enchantment, counter spell, or memory deluge, depending on what's going on. So in Alchemy specifically, which is what we are doing, they have the ability to nerf and buff cards. I would say more Hearthstone style, not Yu-Gi-Oh style, because Yu-Gi-Oh style I think applies certain things. If this is just Hearthstone, we are able to change cards. Alchemy is another format. It's basically standard, but with special Alchemy cards. And I don't really know how to explain it other than, yeah, it's standard, but with basic Alchemy cards. It looks a lot like standard. No, I understand it has the same cards that you would see in standard, just some cards are changed, like Luminarch. Some cards are added, like Oglor, which hopefully I will get off this memory deluge. I did not. I honestly think just keeping it slow, grabbing another Sock coming is perfectly fine. I have enough lands. Do I need Ishkana? I could Willowgeist and then Quandrix Command to return 3 cards, but I don't think that actually helps us too much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll take the Ishkana, but I'm not going to be playing it for many turns. Many turns. So I might just play grab Willowgeist because I could play it ASAP. Tough. Alright. Another blue. I could foretell... No, I want to play Death Bonnet. We have 2 Memory Deluges and a Willowgeist in our grave. Sorry, I just noticed our opponent has 169 cards in their deck. I'm a lot less threatened by our opponent. I apologize if that offends them, but that is in fact the case. They are... So here's the theme. They seem to be mono-white with every card in their deck, so... Okay. 3-2. Like, they're applying pressure, technically, but they have nothing really threatening that they're doing. I could bounce this when it attacks. I can block and kill or block and kill. So these 2 can't attack. This one isn't a threat. And they just cannot... This is a threat. Not only is it a threat, it's a threat that's going to push them into being aggressive. Oof. Alright. But yeah, if I could just run them out of resources, I win this game. So, that is our goal right now. We're just going to slowly run them out of resources. I wanted that land! I could divide by 0, get environmental... Nah. So I'm gonna... Right, hold up. Cancel. This is blue. Z to undo. There we are. And I think we just leave here. If they attack, I could Quandrix Command 1. Or I could... I could divide by 0 the big... So now I can divide by 0. I have Quandrix Command. I have a Sock coming held back. They need a lot. They need a threat. That's worth responding to. They just attack with a 4-3. I'm going to double block and kill. Oh my gosh. Actually, I have a better... No, I don't. I'm going to double block and kill. If they combat trick, I just bounce their creature, or... I'm okay with that. I might... Yeah, I'm just going to divide by 0 that core Celebrant now that we're at their end step. get myself some environmental sciences. Because I just need lands right now. More lands, the better. Wow. Alright. I might just... I think I play Otawara and Ishkana and then just hold up the Sock Coming. Just the Sock Coming. Otherwise, I environmental sciences, I hold up 4. Yeah, no. So this is great. It holds up the Sock Coming, and if they don't Sock Coming, I get to exile my lands to get myself... Yeah, I get to exile these 2 lands and get myself a draft from Ishkana. So Ishkana here is a card from Alchemy. It cannot exist naturally. Alright. Glorious Protector is just going to be a 3/4 flyer. I'll allow it. Its other effects are not useful for them. They are not a payoff for having all the life they have. We will win this game inevitably. Ishkana blocks their flyer, so I do not care. Are they actually going to... Alright, so they put 1 in there in case there's a board clear. Yeah, Deathbond Sprout isn't hitting many creatures. It's unfortunate. Of course, Brent is not a threat. They are gaining life, but life only gets you to not dead, not winning. Are they literally playing to mill me out? I would not be surprised if they're literally playing to mill me out and my self-mill strategy is backfiring. Sneaky reach. Who would have thought the spider has sneaky reach? Alright. Lands, don't need them. Well, I need them in my hand, not. Alright. This can make 2 2/4 spiders. This could make just 1 big spider. I'm going to get the twin cell. Land. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright. So I can play this and environmental sciences and still hold up the Sock Coming. Or I could just hold it all up, Memory Deluge or Quandrix, Sock Coming, and divide by 0. I think I want the Twin Silk Spider to stop their Glorious Protector. This still holds up Sock Coming, it still holds up double Ishkana. Do I have enough for double? 1, 2, 1, 2. Alright, I have exactly enough for double Ishkana. Alright. So I like this. Yeah, this is a nice position to be in. I drew a land. So it's just this last card. I have a Sock Coming for whatever it is. Destroy target creature. Sorry, buddy. And now they're kind of locked. Alright. So we don't need Boseiju. We don't need Boseiju. And we don't need Teachings of the Kyrian anymore. One, two, three. I have 7 mana. So Hatchery Spider is not the worst. I'm going to have that as just a backup. Alright. 1 more creature in there. I can Environmental Sciences. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see. If I Environmental Sciences, I'm pulling up Divide, which I can put on the I can throw on the Glorious Protector, and still have 3 mana for Ishkana triggers and such. Alright. We just keep moving. Alright, Righteous Valkyrie. This is... Alright, we already used our counter spell. My bad. So what's going to happen is they're going to gain some life. They're going to attack, and then I'm going to divide by 0 the Righteous Valkyrie while buffing my other creatures. So that 7/8 is going to attack. I'm going to turn it back to a 5/6 while buffing my Ishkana. 3/6. 3/6 dies. I don't even need to use a combat trick. Alright. Quandrix command. Target creature to his hand, put 2+. Alright. Target creature return to their hand. +1/+1 counters on Ishkana. Alright. So we kill the Glorious Protector. They didn't even switch it out. I actually played that wrong. And they still did worse than I did. Alright, I need, there's a fight spell in Ishkana's repertoire. So I need to look for that fight. We don't need this. We're keeping the creatures in. I only need one sock coming if I need one. Alright. 1/5 reach. It might just be another Twin Silk. Yep. There we go. Flipped. Otawara, we already have one, so I can't play the second. By Hatchery, there are 3 creatures in the grave, so I'm probably not going to hit anything. I could just Skyturtle. I might have brought up, but have you heard about another game Richard Garfield made around this time? Not in the moment. I can't even think about who Richard Garfield is. I have a complicated turn, sir. Please don't tell me it's my go. Let's see. So I could Twin Silk. I could just Skyturtle. Hatchery to get myself a big hulking threat. Yeah, I think I'm just going to Hatchery, get myself presence. Alright, so I just lost 3 lands. Who cares? Alright. And we're just going to let this game go into the long game. Mighty Phone, I'd love to hear what the game is. Appreciate learning more about information. Oof. So anyways, we're facing a deck that's life gain. It's like, it's the bane of the sort of deck that I'm playing right now, but it is, we're self-milling. And, well, they have a bad deck, because generally, I could, I just need to play these Memory Deluges at some point. Alright. Give up the good game, then? I mean, I would like to hear about it, I just don't know what it is. Alright. Let's see. I could Twin Silk. I think I just leave up my mana. Yeah, I'm just going to leave up my mana for a Memory Deluge. If they play a spell that needs to be countered, I have Divide by 0. Otherwise, I can Colossal Skyturtle to bring back something. I could have brought back the Quandrix command as they were playing Key to the Archive. Yeah, that's who I was talking about. Not you, my TFone. The opponent gets... You know what? We're just going to mute. Alright, so let's see. Hold up. 1, 2, 3. Then 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Alright. So... Let's see. Do I want some Ishkan? No, I want the Memory Deluge. Right. Alright. Another Divide by 0 is nice. And we'll grab the Will-O-Geist. Sounded like you said that, but not the second. Yeah. Alright. Glorious Protector. Cool Quandrix command. Awesome. So now I can Divide by 0 the Key to the Archive. And still, hold up Quandrix command to counter the key as they bring it back. Alright. We'll get the... Do I want the Mascot Exhibition or the Containment Breach? Mascot's getting more and more important, but I'm going to have the Containment Breach for now. Willowgeist, and we have enough mana. Cobbled Lancer, get rid of Oglor, or no, the other Willowgeist. There we are. And we wait it out. They play the key again, I just counter. Alright, so now I counter target creature counter target artifact or enchantment spell. I'm just trying to think. So I could return this to their hand, but then they just play it again. I think it's actually better if I reshuffle 3 cards to my library. So I want the other Quadrix command. I want the Sock coming. And I want a Divide by 0, I think. Alright, so it only triggers Willowgeist once, though. That's good to know. Alright, so whatever this card is, they can't cast, and they just gave up. Alright. 4 games. These are long games, definitely, but, yeah. No, Meteophone, feel free to tell me about this story, about this other game Richard Garfield was making. I was focused because my opponent... These games are long. This deck is slow and has a lot of options, and I like the options, but I'm still learning the deck. This is now the 5th game I'm going to be playing. This will be the last game for this stream, because this is going to be game 5, and it will have been playing just this game for about an hour. So, alright. We have Death Bonnet into Oglor. Let's see if this actually works. Because last time we did this, Death Bonnet could not hit a creature to save its life. Alright. But yeah, I'd love to hear the story, my TFO. They are playing tap lands. Happy to see it. We got a creature. I'm happy to see it. Alright. I think it's actually better if I play Teachings here. Oglor could come out later. I know 20 creatures isn't the most likely, but to hit 0 constantly, every time we've played this card with Deathmont Sprout, that has happened multiple times, and every time it missed. It did not hit a single creature. We are actually above level by hitting 1. A third of our deck is creatures, to be clear. And this is actually the best statistical levels we've been getting. +1/+1 counter. I'm going to put it on this one to try to provoke them over here. Play that. Alright. Ooh. See how they respond. Just considers. Considering their actions carefully. Makes sense. Makes sense. Alright. I think I'm gonna Shigeki and Willowgeist. There are some plays that could absolutely obliterate us, but I think they're uncommon enough. Alright. Garfield is the game designer of Magic the Gathering back then. White Wolf employed him to make a CCG about their... Yep, about... Oh, about Vampire the Masquerade? Oh, so he made one for Vampire the Masquerade as well. I know that this one was 4 Dungeons and Dragons, like to be played on the side. Alright, that's cool. This is where on the side of respect, because why not? Yep. Alright. I just realized it's kind of hard to read it all if you're not, you know... Oh, they just discarded lands because they were mana flooded. Okay. Okay. I thought they were just killing Shigeki, and I was going to get really disappointed. I could still be getting disappointed because next turn, they're a mill deck. They're getting ready to Tasha's. And we still can't hit creatures! We still can't. We got 1 creature in here. Is that where all my creatures are? Ugh. We still can't flip Death Bonnet Sprout. 9 is the average, and we're at 1. And that's been, like, consistently. This is how it keeps happening. Alright. I'm going to keep the divide in case they have double up Tasha's. I could bounce the copy, I believe. And Oglor and Shigeki doesn't really help me when I'm facing Mill. Yep. They are running low on cards, so I am hopeful there. We're facing Mill, so I want that Mill, so I'm keeping it on top. I'm assuming they're going to play a land, mill it, and think, ah ha ha, I've defeated you. Well, in fact, you've only defeated yourself. Yep, there it is. I wanted that card milled. Alright, there's Oglor. Yep, this is what I was expecting. So they're going Galvanic into Tasha's, and I can copy... So, hold, resolve this. I can copy the duplicate. So bouncing the duplicate means they get nothing. I think I just pest summoning because it's more threats on the board. We are still getting milled pretty heavily. Still hasn't flipped. That still hurts. Alright. So we're gonna mill a non-creature card from our own graveyard. Oh, wait. I can do it. I can take out their Galvanic Iteration. And we're gonna make this so they can't block it. Alright. I think we have a plan B. So usually I use this for a counterspell. I'm gonna put 2+1/+1 counters on this. And shuffle 3 cards back to my grave. Or back to my library. I'm gonna take the Sock Coming. Gonna take the Quandrix Command. I'm gonna take a Divide by 0. And we're gonna just put more cards in our deck. That's gonna make this bigger. We kill the Ruin Crab. They are low on cards. We exiled their recursion value. I think we got this. Thank you, Skyturtle. Oh my gosh, thank you, Skyturtle, for being an expensive card. Ooh. How many Skyturtles went in here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, yeah, so I needed all 4 Skyturtles, because this is based on mana value, and Skyturtle has a mana value of 7, which I will say Tasha's Hideous Laughter is better the lower to the ground your opponent's deck is, and if it isn't for Skyturtle, my deck would be so cheap. So having Skyturtle in my deck, I think, saved me here. I'm 6 cards left, would be 4 by the time I go in for lethal. So, yeah, Skyturtle saved me against that deck there. Important to note, Divide by 0 still bounces copies. The ability to exile their card there with my, yeah, the ability to exile their card with my Teachings of the Chiron was very valuable there. So we have a lot of good value cards. Quandrix Command I like. I know it doesn't always hit, but I love it. This would be more of a sideboard card. I think this deck can be sideboarded pretty well. I would have to replace the Quandrix Commands. Let's see. Elemental Summoning doesn't see play. Containment Breach was great. Containment Breach, Teachers of the Archaics, and Environmental Sciences. That would probably be my 3 lessons in the sideboard if this was a best of 3 deck. As for what I would do on the counter target spell, in my sideboard, I would probably have maybe some washaways if I'm facing decks that are playing cards in exile. But I think it's really... Where is it? Test of Talents is pretty nice, but... Oh yeah, Test of Talents. Actually, yeah, that would be my sideboard pick. Because I'm like, I want to counter the Hinata deck. Just Test of Talentsing their... Yeah, Test of Talentsing their Magma Opus kills the Hinata deck pretty hard. So that would be good. So having some Test of Talents would be good. Divide by 0 and stuff should generally take care of creatures. I need a way to kill a 4 health flyer on 4. I don't think I have one in blue-green. Maybe... Yeah. Destroy target creature with flying. So let's see. Maybe I sideboard Tangle Traps as well. Yeah, I think I like that. Tangle Traps, Disdainful Strokes, Lesson, Test of Talents. Those are the sort of cards I would love in the sideboard for this deck. Cards that underperformed. Teachings of the Chiron underperformed a bit. It was still pretty nice. I will say it was better than I expected. That being said, I think I could put in another Shigeki, or, you know, actually get the 4 of Oglors. Get the... Maybe with that Death Bonnet Sprout, we reach 22 creatures. Maybe then it's consistent enough. Willowgeist is definitely a late-game value in a 1-mana creature that becomes a late-game value engine, which doesn't really synergize with the deck too well. I think we actually go to 2 Willowgeists and 4 Cobbled Lancers, because this at least synergizes with the deck. Then again, now we don't have the way to easily mill. You know what? I might actually put in just main deck of Bamboo Grove Archer. Don't need too many Cobbled Lancers. But yeah, I do like this deck. There is something here. There is sideboard options. I think there is value here. I think there is something serious here if you can just find all the pieces. That's Simic Skyturtle. We did use the combo kill on a few people. That was fantastic. It really is just a ton of value generation. I thought it was fantastic. Anyways, everyone, thank you so much for watching this. I hope you guys get inspired by this. Do I think you should craft this deck? I think if you have the Ishkanas or Oglors, like you're planning to get those anyways, a lot of these cards are uncommon, 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 uncommon. We can cut down the Willowgeists. Quandrix commands I'm running because I like them. You can switch these out with Washaways or other counter spells. Shigeki, again, you can just kind of use what cards you have for 2. You do need replacements, but I think there are plenty of healthy replacements other than the 2 Ishkanas and the Oglors. Oglors are mandatory. Ishkana are very high value. So if you don't... These cards being mythics is very much why I don't think I can recommend this deck. But if you can deal with that, I had a lot of fun with this deck. If you like the slow, grindy matchups, being kind of a mid-range control deck without board clears, actually having to play to the board, then I think you'll enjoy this deck. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll be back with another deck soon.